Number 1, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number 2, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number 3, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number 4, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable...
Enough of her. Now, when I watched that video over the weekend, I was like, I need to do a podcast on alpha females because it's the most absurd thing on the planet. How can you be an alpha female and live with men or date men? Men are supposed to be alpha mindset. And yes, I'll agree with you, ladies. A lot of you are going to say this in the comments. There's no real men anymore. And I agree with you. That's why I started this podcast. Okay, when a chick is acting like that and she's like, I am alpha male or alpha female, blah, blah, blah. Like, are you serious? Like, what gives you the mindset of that? Like, a man is superior, stronger. The reason why you're even allowed to think that is because a man is being respectful and he's being kind and he's being gentle because he's not going to take you out. The reason why a man is an alpha male amongst other men is because he's respected through, what is it? Let me guess the word, fear. Other men respect other men through fear. That's what makes you an alpha, is because the alpha can fuck all the little shits up. So let's go back to women. Women are supposed to be nice, cute, feminine, childbearing, respectful, non-argumentative. That's who they're supposed to be, but they're not. And then a woman's like, I'm an alpha female. Like, that is the biggest joke of all time. You're an alpha female because you only date simps, period. It's embarrassing. And two alphas can date. I actually saw it once where it was attempted, and they fought all the time because she didn't want to give in and he didn't want to give in. It's called yin and yang, ladies and men. Alpha dates submissive. Period. Two alphas, they fight, they destroy each other. Like, get over yourselves. An alpha female, go to Saudi Arabia, be an alpha female. Go to Ukraine, Russia, Germany, be an alpha female. I dare you. Put a GoPro on or a drone to follow you with the camera. Let's film it and put it on the channel here. It'd be great entertainment. You're only an alpha female in your head because you surround yourself with simps that are too nice to tell you anything different. You can't. You're not superior, stronger unless you're like J-Lo in that fighting movie, or you're a professional Ronda Rousey fighter and you can stand up for yourself. Respect comes with fear. That's the only way you can get it. With great achievements is because you are a top dog. That's what it means. It's comical when a girl says she is a alpha female. It's just got to stop. It's embarrassing. I never run into these people ever, and I wish I could have a conversation with them because it would be such pleasure of a conversation for me to have with them. Like, with me, I am cutthroat, and I'm going to tell you how it is. And there's no such thing as an alpha female. It's a first world Western culture privilege. Remember, it's a privilege, ladies. If we get invaded and we lose because our men currently suck in our pussies, which is probably going to happen, guess what? You think you're going to be an alpha female when these guys come into our country and take over? Oh my God, I hope I'm alive just to see that. If I be, hey bro, can I have some popcorn and watch this chick try to be an alpha female? I can't wait. Actually, here's a better idea. If there's a war, all you alpha female boss babes, join the military. I dare you. I dare you. $1,000 says, or my entire net worth says, you ain't gonna make it. I can guarantee it. There ain't enough of G.I. Janes out there to win the battle. I can promise you that. Even the strongest men, like Andrew Tate, is a very strong guy. He's a definition of strong. Okay, or the Paul brothers are very strong guys too. I'll give them that. even if they were in the military, they would have, a struggle or two. I can guarantee it. And those guys are top tier shape. What do you think these soy boys, these fat little shits that go to McDonald's twice a day and cry and pretend they have periods and pretend I need a tampon in the guy's bathroom? What do you think they're going to do if the society collapses? Enough of you have been not paying attention in history class, even though it's fake history, there's some a little bit of truth to it, because what happens to all empires? They eventually all fail. They all fall apart. Wake up.
If I was with a man that's fully in his alpha energy, in his masculine energy, a good partner, he's there for me, he protects me, he does a lot of things, but financially he cannot completely do the job, then I don't mind. Then I don't mind going 50-50 or helping my man, because I support. It's a partnership, right? Yeah. But imagine he's not understanding, not caring, not loving, not there, not supportive. He's narcissistic, and on top of all that, you have to pay for that shit. It's like, no, for jail at this point. I was like, I'm paying to be abused. It's like, no. So yeah, it's like, if you have qualities that add up to what you're missing. So let me put it this way. If you have qualities that can cover up what you can bring to the table, then I'm more than happy to bring the rest of it to the table. I'm happy to share the table with you. But to have nothing and to show up like with nothing as a person, no love, no care, no support, no understanding, and then on top of all that, I gotta pay for you, princess? Get your ass out of here.
You know what I love about this woman here, guys, is women should have standards, and they should have very high standards for men. Okay? Like my daughter, for example, she's 2, but as a leader in the household and as an alpha male, I will be such a strong father figure, such a top tier male in society. It's not hard around here to be something that she will look up to dad, and that she will inspire to be with a man like her dad. The reason why women date broke losers or broke dicks, that's what I call them, is because their mom was dating a broke dick. It's honestly, there's a study done, it's proven fact. Monkey see, monkey do. When a woman has a strong father figure in the house, she aspires to date men like her dad, because that's what she thinks a man is, and that's what a man is. Now this woman, how she says women should have standards when you come to the table. A man should have the house and the table already built. But when he gets that level of status, ladies, you will fall in line for him, period. You will cook and clean and serve the house if that's your guys' agreement. Treat every relationship like a business relationship. Make sure you're getting what you want and he's getting what he wants. Make sure there's an agreement. There's a reason why our ancestors treated our marriages like a business deal back in the day, for a reason, ladies and gentlemen, because the love thing fades. There is the 1%ers, the 5%ers out there that, does the notebook thing. That does exist. I've seen it. But it's less than 5% of you. So if you're a betting man, treat it like a business deal and get what you want.
A woman who's 30 years old probably has something called an alpha widow. An alpha widow is when a woman is younger, they have this ability to pair bond with their sexual partners. They produce a chemical called oxytocin in their brain, and they literally bond with this partner they have to the extent where they might view this man as absolute god to them. And if this doesn't work out, no matter who they get with following him, he will never compare to her.
That's a great one about the pair bonding thing. So when women, for example, ladies, when you have your first boyfriend, your first love, and you sleep with him, and then you guys break up, you're very devastated. You always remember your first. You're always obsessed with them. Like when I was in the dating world in my 20s, I had this, every girl was obsessed with their ex-boyfriend. If you're dating a girl in their early 20s, I'm like, why the hell? And then I figured it out. It's called pair bonding. Well, ladies, you're born with this gift. When you sleep with a man, you pair bond with them and you become his entire world. You mold and morph into his world, and you guys build a family and move on. This is a study that should be shown to kids in high school and elementary school, just teach you how biologically your body works. And the more you get ran through, ladies, the more you want to go find yourselves, the more you want to take a break and go travel the world and bang a dick in every country. And then you hit 30 or mid 30s, and then you date a man to have kids because your biological clock is ticking, tick, 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 tick. Oh, I need to have children. It's the last time to do it. and you just become super emotional and just want children so bad because it's your last time that your chance to have it. And then you can't really fall in love with this guy. You just really don't like him. And you're just like, I really liked that guy, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, or 10 years ago, whatever it was. And it's because you pair bonded with him. Pair bonding means you pair bond for life. And the more you get ran through, the more dicks that go through you, ladies, the harder it is to pair bond. This is why I tell men, and I know ladies are going to hate this, but it's the truth. This podcast is for the truth and nothing but the truth, because the truth will set you all free. We have to train the younger generation with honesty so they have more realistic expectations of what to expect when growing up. When you get ran through, it's hard to pair bond and hard to mate. And this is why I see girls sacrificing their families for their happiness. Real women don't do that. Men, if you have a woman that's in your life, or potential mate that's in your life, some of you are too far to save, so I can't really help you out with that, but I can help people that are starting up. If she has been around the block, she's got more than, I don't know, it's so bad that we have to lower our standards of what we want. It's crazy how men have standards, but if we voice our standards, you guys call it misogyny or hate speech or putting women down. No, if women could have standards, so can men. And I will tell you what men really want. There's a podcast I did about it. You can go watch it. That the reason why men wanted virgins is because that's ultimately what we want. Like, that's ultimately. Your men are you're probably looking at your man right now and he's like, oh no, honey, it's okay that you got ran through 20 guys. It's okay. No, they're just saying that. They're not, because they want peace in the house. They don't want to start a fight. A man truly wants that, ladies. If he could pick, if you could get a guy in a room with no one around and have a real conversation with him, be like, this conversation is never going to leave the room, and be like, what do you really look for in a girl? They'll be like, I really want close to a virgin as possible can, because then I'm her world. She's never been here. She's never been there. She's never been with this guy or that guy, and she's less heartbroken. Like, I always tell girls when they're younger, like, what's the point of dating in your early 20s or even during high school if you're not going to marry him, have kids and stuff like that? And they're like, oh, it's just because I'm bored. But then you develop all this trauma, guys and girls. I have severe trauma too from early dating. I wish I was a virgin until marriage myself. And then I realized, I'm like, wow, our ancestors really had it figured out. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to go back to slavery. It's honestly, it wasn't slavery. It's weird how women and men think that women back in the 1800s were very unhappy. They weren't. They had fulfillment. There's a thing above happiness. It's called fulfillment. Look it up. Happiness is relativity. It just doesn't really exist. You can buy a Lamborghini, be happy for 8 minutes. That's it. You can go build your dream house. You'll be happy for a month. And you're like, wow, that cost an arm and a leg and 10 years of sacrifice. Was it really worth it? No, it wasn't. You can make $2 million a year, sacrifice 8 months straight with your family and miss out 8 months of your kid growing up. And was it worth it? No, it wasn't at all. So what I'm trying to say here is, ladies, your boss babe mentality is an absolute joke. You guys only can do it in your early 20s. I hope I get hate mail. I hope I get stuff thrown at me in the streets. I love it, because that means I'm getting into your heads and I'm putting that thought in your head, because guess what? I will have the last laugh, because when you get your 30s and your 40s and you start aging, and then you realize, wow, I traded a career for fulfillment and happiness with my family, when I could have just, when I was young and beautiful, I could have just got myself a rich man and he could take care of me until death do us part. And all I had to do was raise the kids. Like, what a better lifestyle is that? It's crazy when a girl thinks she can go have a career job and be an alpha female and then try to raise kids on her own. And then she bitches that her husband left because she wasn't being a wife. Guys want two things, ladies, when they're married to you: a good wife and a good mother, period. That's it. They don't give a fuck what you make. And if they do care what you make, it's because they're broke. You married a brokey, a broke dude, which you should never do. Just for example, when my daughter decides to date, and I was actually talking to some parents today that had younger daughters and they have boyfriends, and I just want a little of a reflection of how they did their parenting and how I'm going to do my parenting, so I can navigate the seas a little better in my choices and decisions. Like obviously, I think fathers are better at choosing mates for their daughters than daughters themselves. Women say they have this thing called intuition, but then if they constantly pick terrible guys, like all the time, and then when they hit 30, they're so mentally screwed up from these bad relationships that they're unrepairable. Like they're just so confrontational, argumentative. It's like you can meet a girl that's 30 that's really beautiful, but she's been ran through and so many bad boyfriends that she is undateable, and the guy will go date that soft 7 or 6 look-wise, but she will be a 10 because she'll be a great mother, a loyal wife, and not argumentative, and be quiet and cute. Like they'll be the Natalie Portmans of the world. That's what you should go marry, man, is the Natalie Portmans of the world. Kind and cute. A girl that will be a ride or die, stick with you till they die. But men, to get that type of loyalty and respect from a woman, you need to be a man of worth. Get your worth up.
Why no masculine man wants an alpha female?
Let me give you some insight, Zach, from an alpha woman. Every day we go out, we're making shit happen. We're strong. We're making decisions affecting people's lives. We don't hesitate to do that. We want to come home to an environment, to a partner that helps us feel safe so that we don't have to be so strong, so that we can feel vulnerable, okay? And it's very hard to find for an alpha woman, because if we're already kicking ass in life, we want to meet a man who's at least higher, or at least bare minimum equal. We want to be able to be inspired by them, to look to them as well, instead of always being looked to for all the answers. So if you don't want an alpha woman, you're either saying, 1, you can't provide that safe environment, or 2, you're just not up there, buddy. So I understand you're trying to help people, coaching. I see it in your name, Zach. But just be careful about things that you say, especially when you don't have experience with an alpha woman.
Oh, sorry. That video just gave me terrifying chills. And a woman could say to me, because I have chills right now, well, you're intimidated. For one, I could tell you with absolute no doubt that no man is intimidated by any girl. I can guarantee you that, especially masculine alpha males. What that woman represents is a lifetime of arguments. Imagine brokering a multi-million-dollar deal and making $1 million in a month and selling 100 units or whatever it is to investment groups and firms, dealing with all their bullshit and our egos and massaging here, massaging there, argue here, argue there, and then coming home to that. Imagine that. I'd rather go take my Range Rover and go park in the Walmart parking lot and sleep than ever come home to a woman like that says I have to provide a lifestyle so she can feel vulnerable. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm going to come home to my Natalie Portman, happy kids running up. Hi, Daddy, how's it going? Daddy did good. I had a 7-figure month. I did really well. I actually told the cop that 7 days ago when he pulled me over because of going a little too fast. He's like, is that normal for you? I'm like, no, man, it took me 12 years to get to this. I just finally made it. Business turns into some form of success. That was a great month. I don't know if I'll ever hit a home run like that again. It was 1 of 1, maybe 1 of 2, maybe one day. I don't know. But anyways, back to that video. That is, there are men that come home to that, and men that do that. I don't know, you must drink a lot, dude, or you must do a lot of drugs. Could you imagine marrying that? I don't know what's worse, marrying that or coming home and finding your woman in your bed with your best friend. I don't know, a lifetime of that or 10 minutes of seeing that other scenario. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's worse. I know I'll never experience any of that. Ever. I can 100% sure I will never experience that bullshit. But anyways, man, dating this alpha mindset, that girl, honestly, if I close my eyes, it sounds like it's a dude. If women want to be like that, I can guarantee you one thing. Only simps will marry you. There's a lot of those out there. 9 out of 10 guys are simps, so you'll find a guy for sure. And one thing she said in that video where she's like, I want to at least look equal with you. I did a podcast about this. When women look equal at you, level-headed with you, they look at everything else out there and they don't respect you at all. You have to keep your woman looking up at you constantly. Then she has horse blinders. I guarantee it. She admires you. She worships you. She thinks you're everything because you're providing the lifestyle that all her girlfriends want. That is honestly the best way to win with girls, man, is take a look at all of her girlfriends' Instagrams, what their life is living, and then beat all of them. Make it a competition. Their friend got a trip here. My wife's getting a house. You know, their wife got a Honda Civic. She's getting a Lamborghini or Range Rover. I know some of you can't afford that, but get your money up and you can. Make it competition 24/7. That's how you get from point A to point B to point C to point D in the financial world. I promise you it works. I'm a prime example. If any of you need help with finances, stuff like that, and you're realistically motivated, not an idiot, you can email me at the him2podcast@gmail.com and I will give it a quick look. Now, ladies, I want what's best for you. The reason I rant at you and men is because there's nothing worse inside that breaks my heart when I see a woman past her prime when she hits 30 and her 80% of her eggs drop off. And then she's like, oh, I can party a little more. And then she's got all these terrible little feminist friends in her head telling her what to do because misery loves company. Oh, queen, you can wait longer. You can wait longer. Freeze your eggs. You can do that. You can. But be analytical about it, right? The chances diminish drastically. And then say if that fails and she's close to 40. There's no man that she wants that wants her. You know, guys will bang anything. Prime example is my cousins. They're all like 400-pound whales and they got pregnant. So there's hope for you, I promise you. And then you see them out in public and you see that look in their eye of regret of their life choices. And then I sit there and the biggest thing I do when I go out is I just watch people. I read their energy. I feel their energy. I'm very analytical and I try to apply what not to do of their choices. I can read someone without talking to them. I can know their life choices by just their energy, vibration, their happiness, and the look in their eyes. And there's nothing more sad than seeing that. Because ladies, you have a ticking time clock of your greatest superpower, procreation, giving birth, mothering children. It's such a blessing. I'm actually jealous that you guys get to experience that love and that connection that men can never feel between a mother and their kids. Natalie and Vera, they are so close. You know, I'm always working, paying the bills. I'm very present than most dads, but like she was there, you know, always there. I'm there 70% of the time because dad's got to work. You know, I gotta like, you know, I always send them on vacation. I can only see them maybe 2 days out of the week. Daddy's got to come home and work. And, or else I get severe anxiety panic attacks because bills are due. And then, when I had this conversation with Natalie, I saw her, she doesn't want to, here, I'll be honest with you guys. So she's a K-5 teacher, because she was doing this before we met and she's young. I'm like, you know what, just, you can work if you want to, or you don't. But you know, you're young. Just, I think you should try to make something of yourself. You know, just I don't want you to be like 80 and have no regrets that you didn't do anything or try. So we had the kids, another one coming, planning for 3, because we gotta get our population numbers up, and I want to be a prime example, our family to be an example of what to do. And she's 30 now, and she's turning 31, and she doesn't want to work anymore. I don't honestly, I think this is her last semester with the school and then she's done. She just sat me down. She's like, I just want to be a full-time mom. I just want to take the kids to school. I want to take the kids to sports, blah, 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 do all this. I'm like, okay, we'll make it work. I'm doing good right now. I'll do whatever it takes to get to that point. We just I'm very analytical. Let's write numbers down, what it's going to cost us, this, and this, do that. And let's make a goal. And then I always make sure we hit our goals. I always give myself a time frame, 6 months to do that, month to do this, a year to do that, whatever it is, but we're going to hit our target every time. So anyways, the whole rant about that is like, ladies in your 20s, because girls in the 30s already know this, but ladies in your early 30s or early 20s, sorry, you're going to go party, get ran through and all this stuff. But the pair bonding thing really affects you from finding the one. And then when you guys trade a career for family and your eggs and the ability to procreate is the worst thing you can do. It's the worst trade-off. I always tell ladies in your 30s and 40s when you don't want kids, so you trade your family or your potential family for boss babe alpha female life so you can pay for bills and taxes and so you can travel to 1, 2 or extra countries. Ladies, if you just married a rich guy, you could do all that except for the work part. Like, no one likes to work. And the biggest thing ladies have an argument with is like, well, if I pay my own bills, you can't tell me what to do. I'm like, okay, but you go to your job and your boss tells you what to do. And she's like, yeah. What's the difference if the man of the house pays the bills and tells you what to do versus the guy at the company that pays your bills but tells you what to do? But that guy at the company, the two main differences, the guy at the company is going to fire you one day, possible, or you're going to quit because you're unfulfilled. You can get all the way to the top. Go talk to really rich people. They're the most miserable people on the planet if they don't have kids. So miserable. Suicidal, drugs, happy pills just to stay awake during the day. They have everything in their life except for family. Ladies, I'm going to end this podcast on this one note. The alpha male or alpha female thing is a fucking joke. Like, you're not superior than men in physical strength, logical thinking. You're not. Men are born and wired totally different than you because God made us the protectors of the realm. And we have to start being the protectors of this realm. If men start being men again, I think women would start being women again. We're supposed to be leaders of the household in our communities and our society. And once we start doing that again, when all the men that are listening to this and you're waking up, it's your job and your friend group, whoever you're friends with, start having these conversations. All it does is start with a conversation. And if they're not willing to listen, they'd start leading by example. This is what I do know. I start leading by example. I get myself in shape. I get myself my money up. I lead with an iron hand verbally, and I tell them how it is. There's nothing worse. For example, I'm going to bring on my accountability diet coach here this week. And for example, I was at my mother's birthday party and she is like a 300-pound lady. My whole family's really large, and I got my mom 30 pounds off because I'm her accountability coach, and I'm very honest with her. And then my brother and his large in charge feminist girlfriend, they're like all big. They're size 15 or 16. They're huge. And then they're like telling my mom, it's okay, you shouldn't lose so much weight. I look at them, I'm like, Mom, you need to get out of here. Everyone you have around you in your life besides me is a yes person. They accept you at your worst. And I just want to look at them and scream at them so loud. I'm like, Mom is 55% body fat. She ain't going to see 10 years. She ain't going to see my daughters graduate at all. Why am I the only one having kids and making money to prolong our bloodline? Why are the rest of you just eating Domino's pizza and planning a trip in your rental condo at middle-aged 30s? You're a failure. Stop putting your failure mindset on my mom and my dad. Period. You were all banned for 1 year from my parents until they are in shape. They don't need any more negative mindset from you. And they all look at me like, you're too rude, you're too honest. I'm like, you know what? You are a whale. You are a fat Peter Griffin. It's embarrassing. Shape up. Maybe I have more respect for you than a day. And then they put their nose there and walk away, and then they're on their way to go get their 8 booster. This is the world I live in, and this is the world I have to compete in all day, every day, and I'm tired of it. Everyone, I love you. Take what I say as honesty. I will be the honest person in your life that will tell you the truth, because I wish that people were more honest with me 24/7. Tell me that I'm doing something wrong so I can better myself. Please, I beg you, stop being scared of me just because I have tattoos or I'm intimidating looking. I need some accountability. This is why I pay for accountability, because too many guy friends in my life won't tell me the truth. So I have to go get an accountability coach that's an outside source, that is an alpha male, and he's a dick, and he will tell me the truth so I can better myself. I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me I was fucking fat? Like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh, I'm skinnier than the rest of my family, but we're all fat. And then I hired him. He's like, no, you're fat. My naturopath is like, you're fat. That's another big thing here, guys or ladies. Go hire a naturopath. Fire your GPs. They're terrible. They don't know anything. Go hire a naturopath. Go spend the money. They'll get you shaped up, tuned up, hormones up, whatever you need, and get yourself accountable. Let's start being our best version of self instead of our worst version of self. Anyways, I love you, and I will be back tomorrow. Thank you.